You're right on time for Hope TV News Watch on this second day of May 2022. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and assisting with the sign language interpretation is the very able Fiona Moresa. You can engage us on our various social media platforms at HopeTV_KE and at Kennedy Kimani_ on Twitter. The hashtag to use is Hope TV News Watch. Let's begin. Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has announced a dusk-to-dawn curfew in the county of Marsabit, following cases of insecurity in the bandit-prone area, which recently led to the loss of 5 lives. Speaking after chairing a security meeting at the GSU headquarters, Matiang'i said the curfew, which will be enforced for the next 30 days, will also allow security agencies to deal with the illegal proliferation of firearms in Isiolo and Marsabit counties. Dolly Murigi begins our bulletin with the following story.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i on Monday declared a month-long curfew and operation in Marsabit County to enhance the disarmament exercise of a rising insecurity. Speaking after chairing a security meeting at the General Service Unit headquarters, the CS further declared Komu sub-location in Isiolo County a disturbed area for the next 30 days, adding that the government has been moving security resources in the area to deal with suspected bandits.
With effect from 6 p.m. tonight, we have placed the whole of Marsabit County under curfew. For 30 days, there will be a curfew in place in Marsabit between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. We have in the last 1 week built up, and we continue to build, unprecedented security resources in Marsabit, because we must bring that county under peace, and we must ensure that all illegal firearms and illegal arms there are surrendered to law enforcement agencies.
The attacks in Marsabit County have persisted. Last Thursday, 6 people were killed and 4 injured in an ambush by gunmen in Lysomis. 17 others who have gone missing were rescued 24 hours later. The attackers have been attacking people in, among other places, Marsabit town with impunity, which has forced the government to move in with the operation. The CS said more than 25% of national government resources are committed to securing the areas.
Time and time again, we have seen lives senselessly lost. And every time an incident happens, one group blames the other, and it's a constant, endless blame game, irresponsible behavior on the part of the political leadership of that county.
He ordered a crackdown on illegal mining activities, which seem to support the rise in security. The mining activities, the CS said, are funding some of the illegal activities in the area and will now be dealt with. The area has been experiencing chaos with gunmen roaming there, leaving dozens dead and others injured.
We are aware, and we have noticed, because we have been having increased intelligence activity on the ground for the last 1 month. There could also be spillover and crossover activities of suspected OLF groups from across the border, especially in the area around Sololo. We have a duty to keep our country safe and to keep our territory safe. With immediate effect, we are going to have a cleanup exercise in that area.
Marsabit is among the areas classified as hotspot ahead of the August polls due to interclan fighting. Tens of people have in the past months been killed in what is seen as political game to control local resources. Dolly Murigi, Hope TV.
Thank you so much, Dolly, for that report. Now, Kenyans have been urged to desist from divisive politics ahead of the upcoming August polls, with Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential candidate Raila Odinga reiterating his commitment to fighting corruption once elected president. Speaking in Laikipia County, the ODM party leader, who slammed his Kenya Kwanza opponents, said the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya 10-point agenda will lift Kenyans out of the ravages of a dwindling economy, empower the vulnerable in the community, create employment, improve health sector, among others. Tess Njenga now reports.
The Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance has resumed campaigns in Laikipia County on Monday as the August polls draw near. Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga drummed up support for the alliance's 10-point agenda, which he says is set to lift Kenyans' livelihood.
Baba Care itahakikisha ya kwamba kila Mkenya, watoto, kina mama, vijana, wazee, wote wataingia ndani ya bima ya matibabu, ili ikiwa kama wako wagonjwa wanapata matibabu hata kama hawana pesa. Kuna wale ambayo wamepigwa na umaskini, wale maskini ambayo wanaitwa mafukara, hoe hai, hawinde, sio kwa chaguo lao, lakini kwa sababu ya hali ya maisha, ajali ya hali ya maisha. Tunaleta hapa Kenya Social Protection Program. Tutakuwa na Social Protection Fund ya kusaidia maskini katika taifa letu.
Murang'a County Member of Parliament Sabina Chege defended the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, saying it has brought double achievement to the nation.
The development ile may happen after handshake from 2018 to now is double what we did from 2013 to 2017. Mpigieni makofi. Isipokuwa ni timu yake ya ODM ambao wametushikilia pale kwenye bunge. Kuna watu wengine when we want to pass things that zinasaidia wananchi wanakuja wanapinga. Kwa sababu wao wanataka kujifaidi, alafu wanakuja kuwaita hustlers. Nyinyi wenyewe mmepeleka watoto shule. Nani ambaye akigraduate anaweza patia mtoto wake wheelbarrow?
On his part, Laikipia County Governor Nderitu Mureithi now says Odinga's administration will ensure counties receive adequate funds to support devolved systems in Kenya.
When I worked as an assistant minister, the prime minister was our boss. Na walikuwa wametengeneza National Economic and Social Council wakiwa na rais watatu wa jamhuri, Mheshimiwa Mwai Kibaki. National Economic and Social Council, mahali tulienda kuongea ideas za kuimarisha uchumi. You cannot be kuimarisha uchumi in between kupiga porojo ya siasa na kunyemelea plot ya serikali.
Odinga also presided over the official launching of the Laikipia County Azimio la Umoja headquarters office. Raila and his entourage also headed to Kirinyaga County for a series of events. Reporting for Hope TV News Watch, I'm Tess Njenga.
Thank you so much, Tess, for that report. Now, moving on. The search for the running mate of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance presidential candidate Raila Odinga will commence on Wednesday, with the selection panel beginning to hear submissions from interested individuals. The panel secretary Elizabeth Mayo says the team expects to complete the task by the 10th of May and will present a suitable name to the coalition's presidential candidates who will make it public. According to the panel, for one to be considered for the position, one must demonstrate certain qualifications, which among them include fidelity to the Constitution of Kenya, respect for the people, bring honor to the nation and dignity to the office, promote public confidence in the integrity of the office, and demonstrate the value that nomination to the office is a responsibility to serve the people rather than the power to rule them. The relationship between President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto is getting grittier by the day, with succession politics being the main contributor to the growing divide between the two. While presiding over the Labor Day celebrations at the Nyayo National Stadium on Sunday, President Uhuru Kenyatta launched a scathing attack on his deputy William Ruto, accusing him of absconding duty and inciting Kenyans against the government. In response, DP Ruto took to Twitter and turned the heat back to President Uhuru Kenyatta, saying it was him who took away his duties and gave it to other people. The Kenya Kwanza Alliance, led by National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi and Amani National Congress Party leader Musalia Mudavadi, have defended the DP, saying the buck stops with the president and he should not blame anyone else.
You cannot keep on passing the blame to somebody else. The president of Kenya is President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. The government in place belongs to President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That is the truth. And if the cost of living has gone beyond the means of ordinary Kenyans, President Uhuru Kenyatta, the buck stops with you.
Tarehe 9, wacha tumalize hiyo kazi, na ikiwezekana mtaona tukiendesha wheelbarrow tunapeleka watu nyumbani.
Now, the Roots Party has begun its countrywide campaign as they root for their presidential candidate, Professor George Wajakoya. to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta after his term comes to an end. Speaking in Mugumuini ward in Lang'ata, where he led the party in campaigning for Naran Arjan, who is seeking the Mugumuini ward seat, Wajakoya dismissed the two-horse race narrative, saying he will give William Ruto and Raila Odinga a run for their money.
Yule mtoto ambaye amepata alama ya A katika ofisi yangu, na mimi namwarifu Secretary General kwamba siku ya Wednesday ataandikiwa check kutoka kwetu, check ya 10,000 ya kwenda kumsaidia. Nafikiria Secretary General umenisikia. Kwa hiyo na ya mwisho kabisa, tutaanza kampeni zetu. Mimi ni yule profesa ambaye mnajua alikuwa chokora, ambaye nimerudi kuwaomba kura ili tujue tutaenda wapi.
And on that note, we now take a short commercial break, but we'll be back shortly with more news. See you on the other side.
The CA Kuza Broadcasting Awards 2022 is here again. Time to celebrate excellence in Kenyan broadcasting under the theme Raising the Standard of Excellence in Broadcasting. At no cost, vote for Hope FM and Hope TV as your favorite radio station and TV station. To vote for Hope, SMS the word Kuza to 15601 and answer the 4 simple questions and press send. The text message is absolutely free. Voting ends on 8th May 2022. Hope FM, listen and live. Hope TV, look and live. The CA Kuza Broadcasting Awards is an initiative of the Communications Authority of Kenya.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission has suspended voter registration beginning on the 4th of May. In a Gazette notice dated April 28, the Commission has also suspended the change in registration of voters in Kenya and in the diaspora for a period of 9 months, with both exercises scheduled to resume on the 13th of March 2023. According to IBC, the suspension is to enable the availability of the register of voters to the public for the purposes of verification of biometric data and particulars of registered voters in accordance with Section 6A of the Elections Act 2011. Now, over 40 passengers escaped unhurt after the Nairobi-bound Guardian bus they were traveling in burst into flames in the Boyo area in the Ahero-Kisumu Road on Monday morning at around 5:45 a.m. No casualties were reported as all passengers were evacuated to safety before the fire engulfed the bus. The deeply shaken passengers watched from a safe distance as the inferno reduced their personal belongings to ashes. The cause of the fire is not yet established. Now, an American farm has distributed 200 goats to 100 poor widows in Kilifi County, aimed at empowering them economically. Each widow received a male goat and a female goat from Financially Fit Africa through its Goat Foundation organization at a function held at Majajani village in Kilifi North Sub-County. Africa CEO and the founder Steve Down say that the widows will also undergo financial training to enable them maximize income from the project.
Tukikamua tutapata maziwa. Kama hatuna chakula kabisa, tunaweza kuuza maziwa kidogo, tukapata fedha, tukanunua hata kama ni chakula kidogo. Halafu zile mbuzi zikaendelea kuzaa, pia tutauza mbuzi, tusaidie watoto, tupeane school fee.
Nina mtoto mmoja wa kiume, amesoma na ameshindwa. Amemaliza lakini bado kwenda mbele nimeshindwa. Sina kazi, nimeketi hapo nyumbani. Kazi yangu ni ya kulima, kupanda mahindi. Ninashukuru kwa sababu hili shirika ninasikia kushukuru zaidi sana, kwa sababu nikipata mbuzi nimepata faida, na hata hayo mavi nitapata mbolea.
We started with 50 goats actually,
No, we went 100 goats. Now today here we envisage to deliver 200 goats. So as we continue, our delivery of goats is increasing day by day. So we are seeing a situation whereby we'll be delivering goats every week, because we are, it's about making, we're in business at the same time we are giving from the same business.
A widow with 4 children, they were facing life without the husband, without the husband and father who died in a village such as this. And I had the honor and privilege of providing a pair of goats, a he goat and a she goat, that could help sustain life, that would provide milk for this family of 4 young children, and also the opportunity to build their own herd of goats.
Now let's cross borders to some international news, where the U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi made a surprise visit to Kyiv and affirmed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that the United States is committed to be there for Ukraine until the fight is done. During the meeting, Zelensky conveyed the clear need for continued security, economic and humanitarian assistance from the U.S. Pelosi became the highest-ranked American official to travel to Ukraine since Russia's invasion. Our visit follows that of the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. To some rather interesting news, Qantas Airways, the flag carrier of Australia, has announced that it will launch the world's longest non-stop commercial flight, with passengers set to spend 19 hours in the air traveling from Sydney to London by the end of 2025. After 5 years of planning, the airline said it was ordering 12 Airbus A350-1000 aircraft to operate the Project Sunrise flights to cities including London and New York. Non-stop flights will start from Sydney by the end of 2025, with the longer haul trips later planned to include Melbourne.
This is a big day for Qantas. It's a big day for Australian aviation. I think it's a big day for world aviation. Today, Qantas is making the biggest aircraft order in its history. And we always said that Qantas needed to transform to survive. We were 11 weeks from going bankrupt in 2020. But we also had to do this to make sure that we took the opportunities when the market recovered, and we could grab those opportunities. And today, we also made a market announcement of how Qantas is performing. And we've seen unbelievable demand coming back, both domestically and internationally.
And that story takes us to a second commercial break. When we come back, I'll get to inform you on everything you need to know in the world of business and sports.
If it's hits you're looking for, then you've hit the cradle of them all. We know you have great taste for music, and we do too.
Working for my good, yeah, 'cause he's intentional.
Enjoy all-time Christian hits every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. on Hope Junction.
So speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life, speak life.
Welcome back. Now let's get down to business. President Uhuru Kenyatta on Sunday announced an immediate minimum wage increase of 12% so as to cushion workers against further erosion of their purchasing power. Speaking during the Labor Day celebrations held at the Nyayo Stadium in Nairobi, President Kenyatta said the rise of the minimum wage was necessary since it had not been reviewed in 3 years and the cost of living has increased. The minimum wage in the country stood at 13,500 shillings since its last review in the year 2018.
Acknowledging the increased cost of living, with inflation currently hovering between 5 and 6% annually. In that regard, and in full appreciation of the critical contribution that our Kenyan workers have made to our economy during that very difficult time, as a caring government, we find there is a compelling case to review the minimum wages so as to cushion our workers against further erosion of their purchasing power, while also guaranteeing the competitiveness of our economy. And in that context, I today declare an increase of the minimum wage by 12 percentage points.
Moving on, Safaricom will at the end of June start blocking customer contact details when making payments through Lipa na M-Pesa, so as to curb personal information being traded to advertisers or leaking to fraudsters. This is in accordance with the data protection law enacted in 2019 to protect user privacy, a model used by banks when sending account numbers. Safaricom says only the first name and a few digits of the customer's phone number shall be displayed while making payments. And some rather interesting news for the farmers. Farmers have received a major boost after Toyota Tsusho joined the fertilizer supply agreement under the state subsidies scheme. The move to get the Japanese-owned subsidiary to supply fertilizer to the National Cereals and Produce Board is set to increase access to fertilizer to farmers amid the lack of crucial input. The company, which sells its products under the Baraka brand, will help farmers gain quick access to fertilizer, as it is in the North Rift, the country's breadbasket, where most of the planting takes place. Farmers will buy the Toyota fertilizer at 2,800 shillings per bag, down from the market price of 6,200 shillings. And now to some sporting action. Olympic champion Marcel Jacobs is the latest confirmed entrant for the Keep Keino Classic, which is set to take place at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, on Saturday. In what is now a loaded field to compete against Africa's fastest man, Ferdinand Omanyala. The Italian is the latest of illustrious names who will be in the Nairobi after the entry of other elite sprinters, such as Olympic 100-meter silver medalist Fred Kelly of the United States, as well as Jamaican 3-time Olympic champion Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. And to some Premier League action, Richarlison's goal and Jordan Pickford's heroics between the post kept Everton's hope of Premier League survival bid alive as they beat Chelsea 1-0 at Goodison Park. Everton's huge win at Goodison Park means Frank Lampard's side are just 2 points from safety and have a game in hand to come over Leeds and Burnley. Meanwhile, Manchester United will face Brentford tonight at exactly 10 p.m. East African time in their final match at the Old Trafford of what has been an extremely disappointing Premier League season for the Red Devils. And finally, Real Madrid have been crowned La Liga champions for the 35th time after Saturday's 4-0 win against Espanyol at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Rodrigo scored twice in the first half before Marco Asensio and Karim Benzema added 2 goals in the second half to complete the comfortable victory. Thousands of jubilant Real Madrid fans flocked to the city's central Cibeles fountain to join the players for the celebrations. Real Madrid have now won 35 league titles, 9 more than their rivals Barcelona, and this means that Carlo Ancelotti has become the first ever manager to win the Premier League, Bundesliga, Serie A, League One, and La Liga in his coaching career. And on that note, we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for watching Hope TV News Watch. On behalf of the whole team that made this bulletin a success, have yourselves a good night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and Fiona Moresa has been the sign language interpreter. Enjoy the rest of our programming.